How's it going, guys? Welcome back. I said I better pick up the camera again. It's been a while, it's been a couple of weeks. It's been very busy with calving. Lovely day today, lovely blue skies, sun is shining. But unlike the beginning of February, for the first couple of weeks we had great weather, but over the last few weeks it has been very wet. Now, despite the bad weather, we have actually managed to get grass into the cow's diet. Most days we've managed to get some grass into the diet, whether it was just for a few hours, a bit of on-off grazing, things like that. There was a few days all right where we couldn't get out and cows had to stay in, but cows have been in every night and for most of the day as well. A lot of time would be nicer to have some better weather, but we have it now finally. Yesterday was like this lovely sunny day. Actually yesterday was even clearer than today, but there's some serious drying now with the weather that's there, which is badly needed because ground conditions are fairly wet and we're starting to, you know, run out of those handy dry spots that we can try and get cows out for a few hours, and it can even be a bit touch and go in some of those places as well. Tonight they will be staying out with a day like today, and there yesterday as well. It's amazing how quickly ground starts to dry out, especially now we're at the end of February. The days are that bit longer, but it's been fairly busy. It seems like the same thing every day, under a lot of time pressure all the time. A lot of cows calving, and with the bad weather a lot more silage to be done and liming cubicles and that. Get some silage to the dry cows who are still in, a few bales for the cluster mob, and I'll put out a bit extra, more than we need, and let the milking mob pick at it after milking. Even though they will be staying out, we will let them pick at it, have a bite when they're on their way out from milking, just to help with that transition diet. So the pit is getting fairly small now, nearly all the way through it. Getting worryingly small, and not too bad. There's not many cows left on it, so we're not going through it very quick. Seems like there seems to be a bit of waste, so on the side of it there, it doesn't feel like it's rolled that great. It's a bit spongy in places, so we might look into that more, making sure it gets a bit more compaction when we make silage this year. Right, so I have a couple of bales open here. This is a 4th cut bale silage. We've been feeding this to the milking cows now for the last while, but the stack is nearly finished. We did test this silage and it came in at about I think 73 or 74 DMD. Yeah, it was near 74. So pretty happy with it for 4th cut. I was hoping for maybe 75. Now this bale here, I've opened another bale that's split here. This is different stuff. This stuff is a lot drier. It's very dry. Obviously there's some nice stuff in it as well, but there's some stemmy stuff too. But cows seem to like it anyway, but it is very dry. I'm trying to remember where these bales came from, and I think I actually was in a video where we brought some bales from a field below. There was only 24 bales in it, and I remember I was very disappointed. I thought there would be more bales of it, but if these are the bales, I understand why there wasn't that many. They're very dry and there's a lot of silage in the bale. There's probably near the guts twice as much silage, dry matter in this than there is in those other bales. These ones are a little bit more wet. They tested about 27% dry matter, I think. So for bales they're a little bit wet, they're a bit soft. This stuff I haven't tested it yet, but they're very dry. They're actually just too dry. Apart from that, they seem okay. And like, there is a lot of leafy stuff in it. When you look at them, it looks, some parts of it you think, God, there's a lot of stem, but there's actually a lot of leaf in it too. I'm just going to spread out the 2 of these here. Cluster mob will be in tonight, they can eat them, and I'll let the cows have a pick of them as well. So today we're also going to get the bulls out. We're going to get them out. We're after taking on a new piece of ground. It's good timing, we kind of need this piece of ground because we were losing some other ground that we would have had the last number of years. So there's a bit of grass on this, it's a bit strong before we close it up for silage. So we're going to let the bulls out, maybe even let out some late calving cows, try graze that off before we close it up. Come on, boys. Hey, hey. They're very, very excited. Come on, lads, let's go. So it's actually the next day now. We're flying it now this morning. We're making great time. We're in for breakfast early. We're out ready to go. A couple of calves that have, or a couple of pens, a few pens of calves, actually 3 pens of calves gone, sold so far. So we're going to get these sheds cleaned out because we're nearly full on the last pen. So perfect timing. We'll get these cleaned out and we'll lime them and they'll be ready then for more calves. So here are some of the oldest calves are left. I think some of these will probably go next week. Got some nice Herefords. There's a Belgian Blue. Mainly Herefords in this pen. It's mainly all Anguses that have left so far. Some more Herefords and Blues. That's a nice blue. And a few Anguses in amongst them. Oh, I must check how many we've calved so far. I'm not quite sure. It's the 1st of March now today, so I'm hoping we've hit the 300 cow mark already. So all these pens here are all the beef calves and any dairy bulls. We use all sex semen for our replacements, so we don't have many dairy bulls. There would still be the odd one. But all those calves there, they'll be for sale. Or most of them are actually already sold. We've got a good few regular people who take calves every year. Just wait till they get up to about 2 weeks old and then they can move off. In this shed here then is the heifer calves. There's 100 heifers in this pen, all replacement heifers. And there's a few more over in another shed. This is the oldest pen. Yeah, they're looking really well. I do very little with the calves. I pretty much do nothing with the calves. I haven't stepped in foot in any of those pens apart from maybe dropping some off or dropping in a bale of straw. I spend most of my time with the cows, milking and feeding and organising the grass and slurry and lots of our stuff. Mariana and Ina, my mother, managing all the calves, doing a really good job. So glad to have a good start to the day, and because a good few things I want to get done today. Stick this agitator in the tank. If you saw my video when we got this agitator there a month ago or so, you can see the way she's out, she's off the ground. I have rolled up the arms a little bit more. They didn't need to be wind down as much as they did on my old agitator. We were mentioning the dilemma of trying to get the PTO the right length so that we could take it out of the tank without taking off the PTO. A lot of people were saying about I should take off the PTO first, but yes, people are right in that aspect that if I was going to go along the road transport, I can take off the PTO. There's brackets here on the side for me to sit it up on, and then I can fold it completely up, and that tucks it away a bit better for if you're going up the road or whatever, long distances. But it is designed that you should be able to take it out of the tank and move around the yard from tank to tank without having to disconnect the PTO. Otherwise, you know, big long 9, 10 foot, 8 foot PTO shaft, it's very heavy. If you're going to be taking that on and off every single time, it's a lot of lifting. And if you're going to be putting it in 3 or 4 different manholes, suddenly you're taking it off 6 or 8 times. And there's actually a bracket here that can fold down to rest on that, so that you can take off the machine in the working position. Right, so I'm going to stick this in the tank first so that it can be stirring. I can start getting going on maybe cleaning out that shed. If I get the shed cleaned out first, we want calves going into one of those pens this evening. Looks like there'll be a few cows calving today. All B and C are empty. Cows out. So cows out last night, and quite a notable difference in milk production this morning, even straight away. Cows were well fed. They weren't even in the yard this morning. They were lying out in the field, happy out.